But there are certain ways that you can develop a more rich and full sound, and that will enhance your natural sound as it is. And I think that for those of you who weren't there yesterday, I talked a little bit about the glow tones and finding the exact beginnings of the tone. And we all play loud and high and fast during the day enough so that we don't really need to do that when we're practicing. And when I practice, I try and which I need to do in the next couple of days just to repair my chops from coming in here every day without warming up and hitting it hard. And right there, that was loud. That was, you heard someone though where it's just the very beginning of where the lip starts to vibrate to make the sound. So I don't necessarily do all the 20 minutes. I think then to get that happening, then I think I try and do the first set around. Which is pretty soft. So let's all try that a couple of times and just try and don't worry about it if it's just air. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any volumes like that right now. We're just going for like the subtonal, glow tone type thing. So, and breathing on 3 and 4. So 1, 2. It's also, of course, good to rest as much as you play, and in between notes, a lot of times I'll stretch my face and do the horse thing. Because basically a lot of the things that we encounter as brass players, it's a lot easier to play when your chops are relaxed and supple, as you know. When you start getting tired and you start pushing and you start getting real tight, it's almost like it decreases your register. It's harder to play intervallically. Your sound becomes more strident and stuff. So it's the ultimate goal for me is to stay relaxed and have a relaxed embouchure, because then anything is possible. The high notes are easier, the sound is better. So let's try that again now that we rested for a minute. 1, 2. Let's try it. We can do it one by one. All right. Yeah, see, it's not as easy as it looks. And all right, let's hear yours, man. All right, 1, 2. Here? Okay. Let's check here. It's hard, man. Okay, 1, 2. Basically, it's going all the way from here up through the middle and up to the top, and then locking it in. That's like the wedge breath. There, if you can get books on Hatha Yoga that explain the complete breath in a little bit more detail. But that's kind of what we're going for. Whether we're going to play something that's high, fast, and loud, or something that's low and slow and soft, right? So let's try. Let's all do it one more time. 1, 2. You mix a record and you keep the monitors real soft, and you can start hearing all the bass and the drums and the keyboard and the vocals and everything at a soft volume, and the mix is good. When you crank it up, it's going to sound even better, right? And it's kind of a similar thing with playing brass instruments too. So if you can focus at a real soft level, when you do, the sound will even be fuller and rounder, without being even though that was a real high note, it wasn't too harsh. It was a it had the same core and roundness as the low notes, because I spent a lot of time playing soft and finding that core. So that's real important, and besides that, it saves your chops, and it's a great way to counteract all the stuff that we have to do, like that rehearsal that we just did, which was pretty non-stop and a lot of high notes and a lot of hard stuff, and especially when you're sight reading, because you got your horn on your face all the time, because you're not sure exactly where you are and when to come in, which makes it even more tired. It's like, you're constantly standing there hitting yourself in the chops, right? That's what I think of it as. It's always the same when I'm playing a new show or a new gig. I'm always beat up for the first week, but then when I know the book, I know exactly when I can rest and when I can take it off my face. That's another thing. If you have rest going on, you can get the blood back into your embouchure and rebuild those tissues. But once you know the chart, it's a lot easier, isn't it? Because you know when to set up, and you know when you have to hit it, and you don't have to keep the horn on your face as long. So anyhow, I guess that boombox probably works. We don't need to play the CD, but try practicing that for a while, and it's a good way to warm up if you have time in the morning before you start any rehearsals. I didn't get a chance to do that because I was up writing charts till 3, and then had to deal with some business stuff this morning, and so I came here and hit it without warming up too much. But if I can, I like to do this if I have a gig at night at 8 o'clock, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm doing that for 20 minutes, then resting for 10, and then maybe doing another 20 minutes. Or on this note. And then I'll put the horn away for a few hours, so that when I get to the gig at 8 o'clock, it feels amazing, and it feels like there's no tension whatsoever, because tension is our enemy as far as brass playing goes. And so that's my approach, and it seems to work for me, and it works for a lot of other people. Just don't get into doing long tones for 2 hours at a time, because I did that once before I knew what was happening, and I couldn't play for a week, and But by doing them soft like this and stretching out and resting as much as you play, I don't think you'll be in too much problem. You'll be able to repair your chops. Good way to warm up and get the sound happening. Because as I was saying yesterday in this class, the first thing that reaches people's brains is our sound. We can be the most technically proficient trumpet player on the planet, or trombone player, and if we don't have a beautiful sound, it's not going to reach as much. Yes?
Why would you not be able to play it as well or play for a week if you did long tones for a longer time?
Well, the tension thing, that's what I was saying. You know, nobody explained long tones to me when I was like 12 years old. They just said, oh yeah, long tones are important. You got to do them. You got to do long tones. And so I got a Schlossberg method book, and I wasn't hip to the concept of resting as much as you play at that point. And so I just did exercise after exercise until the point where I was like, I couldn't even play a C because I was like, hey Mom, I can't move my face. You know, that was why, because you know, nobody explained to me that the muscles need a chance for the blood to come back in, and you know, it's the amino acids that come in. It's similar to like if somebody gave you a dumbbell and told you to hold it out like this for 15 minutes, right? Pretty soon your arm is gonna, you know, really be feeling it, and yeah, you can end up damaging yourself from that. So that's basically, it's a physical thing. It's a muscle. It's just a, you know, and we got this very soft, pliable tissue between teeth and steel or brass, and so I mean, it's just a matter of time. And besides that, what's going to hold it together, what supports it, is the muscles on this side, the orbicularis oris muscles, and there's something like 30 muscles in your face that go into playing and develop, you know, keeping the embouchure together. So, you know, that's it. I mean, you wouldn't want to, if you were a sprinter, if you were training for a meet, you wouldn't just do one sprint and then immediately sprint back and then another one and another one. You know, you have to do it in intervals, just like any athlete. That's a very athletic thing that we do in playing brass instruments, so you got to treat it as such. That's what I think about it.